everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Last month, I did a month ahead reading for the United States, for Joe Biden, and for Donald Trump. And I said I would probably be doing these once a month. And so I think we will take a look at right now at the cards for the month ahead for the 47th president, affectionately known on this channel as Felon 47, or as Marianne on Revealing Light calls him, F47. I might call it 47. But anyway, so I used the Thoth deck last time, and I'm going to use it again. I've actually shuffled it up. I didn't shuffle it on camera because it's so unwieldy. You end up like dropping stuff on the floor. But I do just want to, just generally go over what happened in January. Now it's January 31st, and the uh, he's been in office for one Scaramucci, 11 days. And it's probably worse than we thought. First thing that he did that he said he would do, but then nobody thought he would really do or not do it in the way that he did it, perhaps, was the release of the insurrectionists of January 6th, 2021. That went over to some, the true believers, as a promise kept. To those who saw it as the January 6th riot as a crime, are taking it in a whole different way. And so those people are out. His sort of, I guess, private army, maybe non-judicial army kind of people. We don't know. We'll see. As of today, two of the people who were released have been since shot dead, I believe, by police because they resisted arrest. That's the story of that. And I don't know. I think that letting them out was an affront to the police. And the police are, they sometimes work on a different set of rules. To brotherhood, sisterhood, I guess. And um, so there's that. And then there was the shutting down of pretty much the shutting down of the government. Not quite. I don't know. There's a technical name for it. I apologize for not knowing it. I'm not good at the technical stuff. I just know that suddenly people and states and folks who were depending on things like grants and research funding and all of that got shut down and then reinstated because of I think a stay on that. I don't know the illegal stuff. So, but it was quite a shock to the system, I think, and a shock to many of the Trump supporters, I think, honestly, because many of them depend on these government subsidies and government programs and grants and all of that. Um, we have we also had him go to California and tell them that they're not going to get the funding unless they change the vote. He wants voter ID in California. Um, and then the last thing to happen was the plane midair crash of a plane going into Ronald Reagan International Airport, and I guess that's in Maryland. Tragic, 67 people, 60 60 passengers, 4 crew people, and then 3 people on the helicopter. Apache, I guess one of those Black Hawk. I guess a Black Hawk. Again, not my thing. So but you guys know what I'm talking about. And so he decided that the reason for that was because of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, hiring practices, not taking or not mentioning that the head of the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, was fired um, on the day I think that Trump got in, on the behest and the bequest of um, Elon Musk, because that guy, the FAA guy, had, um, I mean, this is the situation. Did he do it for this reason? Most likely, but I guess I have to say allegedly here, um, that he had fined Elon Musk 600 or Tesla, Elon Musk Tesla, $650,000 for safety violations. Um, and the air traffic controllers have always been sort of the point of pivot, I think. It was the first original sin of the Republicans back in the 80s when Ronald Reagan was president. He busted the union. I don't know. I think I would want a union for air traffic controllers and pilots, and I mean everybody should be able to have a union to have fair wages and the like. But really, I mean, these jobs where it's life and death kind of thing, I think especially. So that's sort of where that's sort of where we're at the end of January. And I want to take a look at February, what's ahead for Felon 47 in February. So let's get started. We start with, oh, justice. Justice. So this is about a balancing of the scales. It's also in this deck, it's called adjustment, and it usually indicates a need for an adjustment. I feel like there's definitely been a push like in one direction, and I feel like there's an adjustment coming from that push. So a lot of the stuff that got pushed forward, that got put out, is going to there's going to be a lot of legal stuff, right? So all this stuff, we have the legal system coming up and saying, whoa, 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 folks, right? Okay. So there's that. We also at this time have his people being Tulsi and RFK and Patel, right? They're all having um, they're asking them the questions, and that's not decided yet, right? That's that all that I think all that happens. I think it's over today. Is it Friday? Yeah. And then maybe they make a decision. Last time they made the decision on Hexa last week. The drunk, that guy who's in charge of the nuclear codes now. Uh no, drunk, misogynist, abuser. Um that came in like right under the wire on Friday night. So it's possible we'll hear today. I don't know. I don't know. That's a possibility. So that's sort of as we start the month. Let's see the crossing card. Ah, the Wheel of Fortune, a change in fortune. All right, so change. So this is pretty potent, I think, as I look at this. I would read it as you know, that when I look at this, the thing that comes to mind is uh, he no longer has the upper hand with this stuff. But let's see what the rest of the cards say. Underneath it all is gain. This was in the cards last month. This was in his domestic situation. So at the root of the situation for him is how much money he can make, which is always at the root of the situation for him because that's the only thing that matters to him. In the past, we have the Queen of Discs. This woman comes up a lot. I have yet to figure out who exactly she is. I always think it's Adelson. Is that her name, Miriam? The woman from Israel. She backs him. She's given him lots of money, and she's pretty much in charge of what happens in Israel and what happens to the Gazans. He's talked about that. He also said last month that they should just, get the Gazans out of there, rebuild, make some nice hotels and such, and have the other countries take the Gazans, take the Palestinians, go to Egypt, go to Jordan. I don't know about Lebanon, and probably Syria, wherever. They're just gonna take those people, do the what is that? They had a word for it. Nakba, another Nakba. I think that's the word. And so they're just gonna like clean Israel out. It's gonna just be for Israelis. And then maybe they'll have a few enclaves. I don't know. Like that, I think is the plan. But that's not even what this is about. That was also happened last. But I see that there's a plan here. There's a plan for land. Oh, okay. So there's a plan for land. So this may be, he may be stopped on um all the stuff that he wants to do in this country, change things in this country, and then maybe he'll concentrate on Israel. In the sky, we have strife. Well, we certainly do, don't we? This is a lot of back and forth, a lot of fighting, a lot of strife uh, on all sides. Let's see in the immediate future. The Knight of Wands. This is about traveling, spreading the word, sort of spreading the gospel in a way, with your beliefs. It's also the last reading. This came up as well, and it sort of had the energy of propaganda. So we can expect to hear a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of action on what people believe, um, and that could be part of the strife. Okay. How it's seen from the outside, which in this case I would say the rest of the world, a fight for dominion. Who's gonna? It's kind of the two of wands. It's a little bit of a what's that called? It's like a crossroads, but it's also yeah, kind of at a crossroads. Who's gonna have dominion here? It's interesting. This card is associated with Mars and Aries actually, but Mars in February is going to station direct on the 23rd in Cancer, 17 degrees of Cancer, and a lot of what he has, all these orders that he's written, happened with Mars retrograde. Um, in Cancer actually, because he Mars moved into Cancer on January 6th. And that was when they did the counting of the votes, right? All right. Um, our domestic situation. So this is new beginnings around resources. So that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't think. Well, for him, I mean, maybe it's a new scheme. These are his cards. I do have to do a reading for you. Yes, I will. I'll do that after this. Um, Ace of Discs, Ace of Discs. So, yeah. So I think it's for him. New business opportunities, new investment in something. Hopes and fears. Happiness, of course. Of course, who doesn't want that? And the outcome. Oh, Hanged Man. So hung up. He's hung up. He's being held back or stopped in some way. But the Hanged Man for us also is an ability to see this whole thing from a different perspective. It's been hard. I have to say it's been hard. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the Princess of Discs. Um, again, that has to do with finances, peace here. The Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords. She came up again last month, right in the same spot. So this is justice. It's interesting. She looks a little like Bondi, doesn't she? She looks a little like Bondi. She looks a little like Ivanka, I think, this in this card. Not that, but maybe Bondi has this energy because I know she's a true believer in all, but um, she looks like she's a pretty smart lady, and if she doesn't, if she were to just do the justice thing, I think we'd be okay. But he didn't pick her to do the justice thing, did he? But he also didn't pick Amy Coney Barrett. He picked her, so she would agree with him, and she doesn't completely agree. And this actually may be Amy Coney Barrett putting a stop to something here. It's possible. The new girl in town. She is an Aquarius too, so this may actually be Barrett, but we'll see. All right, so what do these cards say about his month ahead? Um, there's a change of luck here, but he does. I think he is going to be, uh, putting out his people. There's going to be all the back and forth, all of that. But in the end, with the Justice card to start, crossed by the Wheel of Fortune, and then ending with the Hanged Man, I think he's going to be in somewhat of a position of limbo. I think that January was the shock and awe stuff, and we're like, so it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of, bad blood, a lot of, hopefully not too many more tragedies, but honestly, it doesn't, I mean, if I believed in it, I would believe in end times. I really would at this time, but I don't believe in that. I believe I believe the apocalypse is um, an uncovering of, uh, the thought forms and the structures of our consciousness that have created our reality. And we have a choice. We always have a choice here on planet Earth to go in a different direction. It's free will, right? It's free will, it's free choice. Is this what you want? Is this the life you want? No? Then choose differently. We have that choice. We forget we have that choice, but we have that choice. And that's a big responsibility because then you have to become responsible for yourself. Let me pull a Mystic Sister card just to give us something to sort of focus upon. What are the Mystic Sisters? What does the Mystic Sister Oracle say about? Now, this is more about us. How do we deal with Trump's February? How do we best deal with Trump's February? How do we best deal with Trump's February 2025? Sisters of Harmony. Sisters of Harmony. Oops, sorry. Oh, you can't see it. Let me see if I can get it where you can see it. Sorry about the lighting in here. I will read it from the book. From the book. Some people don't like when I read from the book, but I like to read from the book. They're usually pretty accurate. Sisters of Harmony. Oh, sorry. Music, affinity, and balance. Oh, interesting. The Sisters of Harmony exemplify a joint creative endeavor and successful partnerships. Harmony is key, and you'll need to tune into each other's voice. By blending diverse voices, we find symmetry and perfect balance. Unity is achieved, which gives us a new clarity to simultaneously comprehend and compete, enabling and the complete ensemble, I'm sorry, and the individual attributes share a passion and vision with others in a beautiful way to encourage each other to increase your personal talents. There is nothing like the magic of coming together to sing the same song, to find a favorite key for all of us to sing, and to practice awareness that your individual parts are respected and complementary to each other. So this really talks to us about um, coming together. Now we are in a 2 vibration month, and that is about um, supporting each other. It is a relationship energy. It's an energy of awareness. Um, and the vibration for the month is the Justice card, is the 11 vibration. So that came right up. So we're kind of right on cue, right on target. My feeling about February has been one of having to reach out, reconnect with people of like minds, people who vibrate similarly to you, get your groups together. And ultimately, we're going to have to learn how to get along with each other. We may not be able to depend on the government the way we have depended on, like, in a way, we've spent a lot of time waiting for them to fix it. And it never gets fixed from the top down. It always gets fixed from the bottom up. And so the bottom has to come together. And we're all on the same planet and we all want the same things. We want security, we want opportunity, we want we want to treat others like we would like to be treated. Not from a place of fear and loathing and fearness of the other. After all, the other is simply a part of ourselves we haven't learned to love. Humanity is a fourth ray entity, harmony through conflict. And it's time for harmony, so say the Sisters of Harmony, and so says this sister of harmony. All right, guys, have yourself a great February. Reach out, reach out, make your connections, find your peace. There are certain things that we have to just let it work itself out. There are certain things that we have no control over, and there are certain things that we do. And so attend to the stuff you have control over, the choices that you have control over, and let the rest sort of be a conscientious and conscious observer and foster peace in your own heart. And I think that that may be the key to getting through a Felon 4047 February. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you again next month. We'll see if I'm right. Namaste.